Good day, Jasmine, and welcome to your natal chart reading. So, this thing we are getting into today, this blueprint, pie, cookie, pizza, map, is kind of the script for this life that you're having as Jasmine, because Jasmine has been many different names, races, religions, genders, things from plant to animal, stardust to human, over hundreds or even thousands of years, maybe hundreds of thousands of years. That's what I'm here to tell you about today. So to start, I always put on a frequency before I do a reading and just like what I'm drawn to. This time, what popped up literally when I was getting started 2 hours ago, look, because it's 2 hours and 9 minutes in, and it was posted 2 hours ago, is scarcity into abundance, money and blessings attraction, right? So immediately they let me know we are going to get into your worth. Did you already know you were an entrepreneur? Don't look at this and try something random with my grades. So you are meant to own a business in this life. That is what you came to do. As a matter of fact, let me pull right quick to see what titles you are meant to be wearing. Because ironically enough, I have been doing money readings the last couple of days. It's called Your Money Magnet is one of the readings that I do. So I go over somebody's chart and tell them what avenues are the best ones for them to earn money, what talents they have, just all the little hidden stuff that will help you feel really strong if you are somebody who is trying to run your own business, right? I even get into the branding a little bit. Your chart got added into that pile. So the asteroids that I already have plugged in here are the ones for finances to help you with the scarcity thing. So what aspects of Jasmine should she focus on developing for her highest financial outcome, for her prosperity and abundance? Are actually going through a big turning point in your career in some way, shape, or form in regards to healing your ideas about your worth and what you're meant to have and what you are capable of having in this life. Because before now, you had a block on your finances. With Saturn in second, it's like your money is held back from you until they can make sure you can play nice with other people. So the parts of you that need to be reinvigorated, breathe life into, if you will, in order for you to do this job is or are the hermit. So some time in isolation with yourself. And in my experience, when you have a lot of people in your energy, which would usually be the case when somebody has Saturn in Aquarius or some prominent energy in Aquarius, it means you're used to being around a group. You have a group of friends that rely on you, right? So when you go into isolation, it's the same as you shaking everybody out of your energy. When you are alone, you start reflecting on what you want and what you look like or what you desire for yourself and your base energy. You are returning to your frequency when you are in isolation. When you're around other people, you pick up on their ideas, their feelings, their projections of you, and you don't get to really see who you are. That is especially a thing for you because you have your sun in 12th. That is the same thing as having a sun in Pisces. Now, this also means that you have been hidden, you have been cloaked for a particular reason. Like your whole life has been leading up to what you're about to do in your business, right? So the next part is, and this is probably why it's going to be done in isolation. You're going to be dealing with your childhood wounds. The parts of you that are still into, let's see here, there's a wee bit people pleasing energy, but you don't like to fight, you don't like confrontation. There is a father wound definitely coming up here. Something that you wear on your sleeve, actually. I don't know if you lost him early or he was a guiding figure in your life that you never felt that you can live up to. Could even possibly be the case, but there is absolutely a father wound that has been guiding you or leading you or changing your ideas about what you feel like you are capable of in this reality. It feels like very possible you didn't have the structure that you think you would need to be successful in life, and that thought has been holding you back in some way, shape, or form because that Saturn is at the 25th degree. That is a self degree. It is literally on you. And this also means that you are doing a final test on what you make of your character. So the last attribute here is warrior. All of that energy that's going to come from you taking your power back and then feeling the rage behind how often you gave your power away, it's going to turn you into this warrior energy. You might even get more into like boxing, kickboxing, fighting, running, because you're going to be so fueled with the energy that is now returning to you, not only from what you've been giving out to other people that you didn't realize that you were just freely giving out to other people, but all the pain that was just sitting inside of you, sitting in your base, waiting to be relieved in your subconscious. You're going to need to move. Like, you're going to be in hermit mode, but you're not going to feel like talking to nobody, but you want to be out the house. You want to be in nature. You want to see things just solo. That is because the ultimate goal of all of this is this: shape shifting. You are transcending. You are coming out of your karmic form, like the person you had to be to clear out all the other debts that you have, and turning into the person that source, God, whatever you like to call it, wants you to be. A warrior for team light. And you're going to be locking into your gifts. So you've always been very sensitive to other people's energy because of that sun and that Mars that are in the 12th house. Like I said, that's the house of Pisces, but it's the house of mirroring. So sometimes people see you, but they don't see you. They see what you are to them. This also means they put their stuff on you as well. So if you're a very pretty girl and you have a friend who's not secure in her prettiness, she might be like, you really should do your hair better. But she's only thinking about the fact that, like, she low-key hates you because she don't feel as cute as you and you don't even recognize you're cute. So your innocent little energy just makes her feel like, but she wants to be around you because of your glow and the things that come along with that. That is the energy of the friendships that you have been dealing with prior to now. So much of that was supposed to fall away from you. So a turn of events about maybe 3 years ago was supposed to occur to change who you were as a person, to change your beliefs. That's what this Uranus, this radical change. Like, you might have already started shedding off friends over the last 3 years for that reason. That was a part of what was intended to happen in this life so that you can move into this Capricorn energy, which is you being the entrepreneur, you being the business person, you being the mogul. You're going to take these skills after you prepare yourself, put yourself back together, shape shifting, and then you're going to teach other people how to do that. That is what your North Node in 11th is. The North Node in the chart is, imagine a dark room, right? You know how the photos don't come together until they go through that process where they're revealed? The North Node is the thing that reveals the chart, the big, I guess, like gender reveal, right? For you, your South Node, the thing that you're moving away from because you've done it many, many times, is in the 5th house. That's the house of your friends. That's the house of being in your friends groups, hanging out, like not so serious things. In the 11th house, this is humanitarian goals. These are the friends that are the causes you believe in. Like, if you were somebody who was abused as a child and you want to help people who were wounded as children, the other advocates that are in that lane are your new friends, people who are going in the same direction you're going. And it seems like your old friends were meant to be distractions. You base your values upon what the hive was doing before. Going forward, you're going to base your moral standards and what you feel like you should be doing on what you sense, your intuition. You're going to be seeing something further out than what's in front of you because your gifts are activating in a big way. So you have the gift of prophecy. This comes through a lot in your dreams, when you're in water, when you're near water, and particularly when you're in isolation. Hermit mode lets you hear clearly. Besides that, everybody else is like a mosquito in your feet and you're not locking into what you need to hear. You can technically do what I'm doing right here because your job is actually meant to be online. Your big transformation in life is in your value in yourself. The part of you that takes all that pain that comes from the stuff that kind of occurred when you finally started going to school, when like you recognized your place in the world, but it looked like you had a target on your back. So you've been sort of holding yourself back for that reason, right? But you thought it was because there was something wrong with you, not because there was something great about you. Honey, you've been lied to. But that's like the fun gag. Now you get to transform all that potential, all that power, and all that wealth into something that you can actually move. So your Mercury, which is the way your mind works, right? You are the detective, you are the psychologist, you are the X-ray vision that is meant to be used based upon your emotions. Your gifts are intuitive, but like physically intuitive. You'll feel it in your stomach, you feel it in your gut. And this is something that you had to develop in your family. Like, you had to know when to duck because a shoe was coming. So that energy is what's going on here. That leads to your Venus, which is your worth, your power, your magnet to attract in this life. So you went through training and it seems like it's coming from your mom's side of the family. You went through warrior training. When you have Aries at the beginning of your 4th house, this means you grew up a soldier. There's something about your environment that made it so you felt like you had to protect yourself. Maybe it was loud, it might have been violent. Either way, you felt very alone and very in charge of making sure that you were going to be okay. Like you had to rely on you. There was a block, that's what this 22nd degree series is, on the nurturing that you received in some way, shape, or form. This was in order to make you a soldier. And anything that's at the same degree funnels into the same channel. So you have your series, which is your nurturing energy, what you need for love and what you give to others, which you sort of give them a burst of inspiration. Like you coach people like a soldier, right? That is your sprinkle of luck. That's your part of fortune. When somebody comes to you or will come to you with a problem, which is probably why you had all these friends hanging on to you, you inspire them in a way that makes them say, I can go out there and get it. Like I got the power to fight again. You share your fire with other people is what I'm getting. And your fire is not like regular fire. And I don't even know how this will work, but it's like fire and gasoline is what I heard. Like your fire is liquid flames because it's in the 12th house. When you put your hands on somebody or when you put your words behind them, they got not only sparked, but they got fuel that's going to last them a long time because you just like gassed them up. I ain't never came across that, man. So with that being said, this moon, Mercury, Venus, use your words based upon what you feel coming through you in order to pull worth towards yourself. And you can do this online. You can do this out in the community, just as long as you were sharing the gifts that you usually were saving for the people that are around you that needed your advice, whoever, out in a big way. You might need to start making videos. Just share what's coming in your mind. Dream journal also. That's going to be important because things that come through sometimes are messages. Even if you sit down like I do every day, I pick a frequency or I'll see which one comes across me. You can see the ones over here that I like blotted out and then just journal what you sense coming through when it comes on. Now, you can't mess this up because I know you're going to be fighting to get some blocks that are like, oh, I don't know if I can do that because the twisted thing about your gift is that you give to everyone else what you need to give you in order for you to accomplish your goal. So sometimes you'll be feeling like, dang, everybody else stuff is going a certain way. And I'm like, but that's why at this time you need you, honey. So you are just going to be sharing and that's going to draw them in. The more you share your mind, the more you build your wealth. Over here, your logos is at the first degree. That means God speaks to you directly, especially in hard times. That's when it's the loudest for you. When you're going through something dark, when you're almost out, when you're like, deuces, God. God is like, hold on, hold on, hold on. But guess what? A very long time ago, you decided you wanted to take the earpiece off to God so you can enjoy yourself here because you wanted money. Money was a really big thing for you. And that's why in this life, there was a block on it. Getting to where you wanted to with your money and the fear of ever losing it again made you compromise your soul on several occasions. So in this life, you had to develop all your skills and all your personality without money so that in the future, no matter how much somebody tries to give you or what they offer you or whatever the bribe or the deal is, you can always say to yourself, you know what? I have lived without money and I can do it again. There is nothing worth my soul because you are your abundance. That's what this first degree is, self. You are your abundance and God speaks to you and delivers your abundance through that now that you are turning your earpiece back on. So the turning point for you in this life was meant to be your family or healing your family or beginning your own family. You might have started off in a very rough environment, but you're meant to have a wealthy lifestyle, a stable lifestyle. And by wealthy, I mean your bills are paid, your house is nice, you have the things you enjoy. It doesn't mean you need to hoard, but you have everything that you need and quite a few things that you want, but not so much so that you will put other people over what you know is best because that was your past experience. Like you linked up with a bad group of people that had you into stuff that was like you had no business. So now the people that you're going to come across with your gifts as a healer, because healing Reiki, which is your ability to energetically heal. This also makes me feel like you might have some power in your hands. Like you might actually be able to lay your hands on them. I think I said something about that during this reading, but that threw me off for a second. Like, hold on, her hands do something because the hands are ruled by Virgo. Your Chiron, which is your wounded healer energy, the wound that you always have that you use to help other people. is in the sign of Virgo in the eighth house. So you can remove somebody's trauma. Like you can put your hands on them and you can feel where they have a block, and then you would just like energetically push that out. But you're going to start by using that gift on yourself. Ooh, so I get to tell you this. What I've been doing lately is when I feel a block, like I've been coming up with a lot of plans for what I want to do for my life. And that was why I thought the transmutation for scarcity to abundance thing popped up, because every time I want to do something, there's that little Eeyore in the back of my mind. You know that dude from Winnie the Pooh, the little donkey that's like, Every time I hear that voice in my head, I'm like, okay, baby, what's wrong with you? Where's this block at? So I did this the first time. This was just humdrum. I'm like, where's that feeling coming from? I feel a sadness when I think about my manifestation that makes me feel like, oh, there's part of me that won't allow me to have it or thinks I can't have it. That is the block. That is the energetic uh, boulder that stops you from manifesting what you want. So I put my hands over my body and I'm like, where's that coming from? And I felt it in my sacral chakra. As soon as I like narrowed like mentally in on where I was feeling it, like tears started coming off my eyes. When you cry, it's to remove energetic blockages in your body. So now anytime that I have a problem, when I'm going through my business plan and I feel that feeling, I'm like, where are you coming from? Where's the fear? Where's the anger? Where's the hurt? And then whether it requires me to go walk, to cry, to dance, to sing about it, whatever the case is, I have learned to actively, as I'm going about my manifestations, transmute that pain into something that is going to clear out my space and also attract what I'm aiming for. When you clear out a block, you ain't got to do it a million times. That means the next time it comes around, you can go, we already went over this. But that's what you are going to be learning to do for yourself in isolation that you could not do when you're around other people. And then you're going to return like Simba, right? You're going to return, and then you can use these gifts amongst the people that you have to still pay karma back to because you owe them from past life stuff. But this will be done through your job. You'll be getting paid for it. You'll just be healing people as your talent out and about in the world. You might even have a partner that helps you with this. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a romantic partner, although I do see Jupiter in your tip. Jupiter is the husband asteroid. But this also means you're meant to be known as like a spiritual guru for people who are overcoming trauma. Why do I say overcoming trauma? Because it's in Scorpio. Ironically enough, every day of your life, you have sort of been going through difficult things, right? This sixth degree is the Virgo degree. This rules your everyday life house, your day-to-day activities, health, nutrition, fitness. For you, you have it in Gemini. This means you've been learning through your family at home every day of your life what you needed to learn for your career. That has been difficulty is what I'm getting here. You were learning from difficulty so that you could, anyway, repair your own bot and then use those skills to help other people repair their bots. And by bots, I'm referring to humans. So nothing that you have gone through has been for no reason. It was to make sure that you did not turn into the jerk that you were when you were rich last time. So that when you're doing really good this time, you don't plunder it for yourself with greed. It was never about scarcity or you being broke in this life. It was about you not appreciating wealth in other lives. So in this life, the big radical change, that's what Uranus is, that will come through with you or for you once you start into your business, or if you already started, you'll be swimming through, is to have your wealth restored to you through your career and the footprint, I guess is what I should say, that you will leave on humanity. Your fortune, your wealth, your bank comes through serving other people in a way that doesn't bother you. This is like you on a beach, sending messages, answering questions, helping people when you're on the beach because you have such a reserve of finances that you don't have to worry about being able to give. Like you're going to be able to give money and advice. This whole 12th house over here lets me know that you're not supposed to live where you originally were born. You need to be at least 3 hours or more away, if not internationally, or far away from your family. It's like you did what you needed to for your family line here, and you need to start your own branch somewhere else. And you do have a fated mate that you are locked into, somebody that you sort of knew about. So maybe your partner ends up assisting in your business, but I was thinking more like a best friend or somebody had similar skills to you. But who's to say it can't be your mate? Just know that you wanted to pair up with somebody that you could build a family with and last until the end. You wanted to build wealth. That seems to be really, really big for you. But you are a healer. You have a healing business. You are your brand. You are your power. And literally all you have to do is allow yourself to clear out what no longer serves and be a conduit for source. this is your career, if this is what life is moving you into right now, and if you were wondering why stuff was thumping or bumping, or if you're already going in the right direction, you are. You are being molded, you are being shaped, and all you have to do is allow. So have a good day, Jasmine.